Hello and welcome back, guys. It's Chicago Ted coming in with this installment of the Golden Aegis Replay Cast series. This replay will be number 16411768775. So, for those of you who sent that replay in and or have donated for other games, I thank you a lot. It means a lot to me. If you want your own replay cast, you can go check the description of this video for a VOD. If you're watching it live, right below the stream will be all the links that you need. So, without further ado and another bullshit word spoken, let's go ahead and get this one started. Press the play, free camera, and let's go. So, it looks like it's in the bag, says Ponteris. Speaking of Ponteris, for the Dire team, it is going to be Ponteris on the Sven with EWJ playing the Pudge. Okay, I'll just call you Liquor. He's on the Weaver. Keep this family friendly. Ressa Salahid on the Crystal Maiden with Kisamis on the Centaur War Runner. Meanwhile, for the Radiant this time around, it's going to be Vanowit on the Jakiro, the twin-headed dragon, with Zekrom Strikes, playing the Zeus. Navi Dendi on the Invoker, though I really struggle to see it actually being Dendi. I would be ecstatic if it was, but enough said about that. Report me, I'm noob. I can't quite do that from this standpoint, dude, but he's going to be on the Clockwork. And Geno Man will be playing the Lishrak. So, go ahead, open up my chat again. Yeah, just Liquor. Just Liquor. Family friendly, guys. Alright, so it looks like the Radiant will go ahead, grab both runes, actually, and make their way to their respective lanes. That's a pretty decent advantage for the Radiant. Now, if I remember correctly, the last game I casted, the team that got both runes and First Blood was the team that actually won it. But I struggle to say that that was the reason they won it, because I think the enemy team did start pulling away in lane, but whatever. We don't have to worry about it. That's a different game, a different replay. Elsewhere on the playlist, I won't worry you guys with that right now. If you're just in to watch this replay, fresh, bacon new set of heroes. Although some repeats here, but as it stands, both sides starting out pretty passively. Neither one going for that hard First Blood attempt, though Kisamis taking a lie. He's going to go for the double edge! And plenty of damage to come out. They'll go ahead and grab First Blood almost without even trying. It was pretty much given to them. And so, with one kill going the way of this really annoying magical damage heavy lane, the Centaur War Runner dropping one back, and Liquor needs to be very careful about this as well. Has no experience to his name, so he's going to be pretty starved for this, at least the early parts of this game. Though I can easily see this one turning around if they're not careful. Liquor does have the ability on the Weaver to output a huge amount of damage in no time at all. Kind of ironic, though. I guess coincidental would be the point. Nah, it is irony that the Pudge will be played against Navi Dendi. Go look it up. I'm pretty sure that's irony. I'm pretty sure the literal definition of irony is what that is, but whatever. I'm getting off topic here. We'll throw out the hook, as you saw. Missed it out. Looks like the Lishrak isn't going for the tower pushing build, even though they've got this lane pushing out a lot. Instead, he's going for this heavy kill-oriented build, and the top lane, same thing as well. The Radiant side getting very aggressive, doing a huge amount of damage on these guys, and even with the Liquid Fire, you can see Ressa Salahid and Ponteris taking so much from this. Haystream, though, onto the Zeus. The god moving at godlike speeds. Unfortunately, isn't quite able to do too much with it as the lane is pushed very far out. And he's just going to let that one run out because of that, and not really much to come out of it. I'm keeping an eye on this mid lane, though, for one very specific reason. This Pudge has 12 CS against the Invoker's 9. The melee damage Pudge isn't really getting forced out that much, and Invoker's playing this one very carefully. He's got 2 points in Exhort, a point in Cold Snap, or a point in Quas, which gives him Exhort, Cold Snap and Sunstrike. So he could very well get aggressive on this Pudge and maybe grab a kill. In the top lane, though, Report Me Noob might be in a lot of trouble. Who's actually in trouble, though? It might be Ponteris, who actually will go down as a result. of this. But Report Me Noob did go down first, so Pantera's getting a decent amount of experience from that one. And some gold. We'll lose the gold pretty much right away, but the experience sticks with you. You can actually see what the net was. Yep, gets net of experience, not much else. Kisemas might be in a little bit of trouble. Xenoman chasing. They've got the Lightning Storm. They've got the Lightning Strike. Liquor's close by, but not going to get hit by any of it. And so, we'll revert back to a more passive stance in some of these lanes as Kisemas makes his way back towards the fountain. EWJ, though, waiting to throw out that hook. Looks like he really wants to. He's got to be very careful about this lane, though, because as we mentioned, Dendi is very, very capable of turning the fights around. And hold on. Zekrom Strikes gets hooked on in, but he could go down here. Though he does get the bounty rune, he'll go try to get what he can with the Lightning Strikes, but a big old Pudge will be able to take that with stride and be able to get a return or get a kill out very easily, especially if he lands the hook. Level 3, 270 pure damage. Pudge is a monster at these sort of things. Meanwhile, Dendi makes his way up north, looking at Pontaris. Maybe wants to find a kill here, but Pontaris might be difficult for him to bring down, or will he? He goes back behind, the pings come out, but Restless Salahid is going to be the target here. Report Me on Noob is in back, will go for the cogs. Vanawit trapped in a tower. Sunstrike comes down and will bring down Restless Salahid. Pontaris now on the run. They've got the ice path. Vanawit still not dead. One more auto attack comes through, but it's not going to be enough. He stays alive. Dendi holding on to the tower aggro. Vanawit, no! The tower's going to aggro into him!
Bottom is missing.
Or it doesn't. It hits under the siege creep. Gets very, very close, though. Oh, man. If I were that Shakiro, I would be literally dropping bricks.
Radiant's mid tower.
Mom spaghetti all over the place. Either way, both Ressa and Pontaris come back to the top lane. But geez, I can't get over how low this Vanawit had gotten in that last one. Really great play from the Zakiro, getting out of that tower range, maneuvering around the Zeus, keeping things okay. Keeping things, keeping the Sven tunnel visioned on him. Still 5.5 minutes in. We've got 2 walking couriers. Doesn't really matter as Dendi will bring out the phase boost. And with every passing second, this Invoker getting a lot further ahead than the Pudge. Dendi staring at his own face on the back side of the big angry butcher there. And Liquor now going to go down. The Lightning Storm. All sorts of lightning coming out. Kisemas might also go down. They have one more Lightning Storm. They'll throw it out. And Geno Man gets a double kill.
Guess what's happening to Dyer's
The hate that this guy receives for being, quote, broken hero, well deserved. That is one hell of a spell there. 140 damage on a 4-second cooldown at level 2.
Haste.
The cooldown, though, static across all levels. The damage is still pretty high for level 2 spell. And comes Liquid Fire, though. Rest of Salahid. Not going to hit by it, but Pontaris does. It looks like they'll both back themselves away. Meanwhile, Pudge gets a disconnect from this game. Though waiting for the pause. Looks like I've still got this thing up. Dendi with a haste rune up top, though. Rest of Salahid and Polaris, or Pontaris, hanging close by, but not really letting themselves be initiated on. Report Me I'm Noob actually walks under, gets frostbited immediately. They throw out the Stormhammer, and the tower is still aggroed onto him. A Crystal Nova flies out. Vanawit, though, with the dual breath, with the Liquid Fire, they just bring him down. The Sunstrike comes out, but they don't even need it. Rest of Salahid, though, on the run. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Likum Samus might go down. They need one more Lightning Strike. No! He runs out of mana. So, wait, how did he run out of mana there? Was,
Radiant's mid tower's getting banged up.
Perhaps he tried toggling his ultimate there? I don't know. Either way, Rest of Salahid on the run.
Mid tower's coming apart.
Dendi closing on in. And with a dual breath, it barely connects on the fire. Dendi continuing to chase, though. Stormhammer comes out. Pontaris wants the kill. A nice path will come out, though, securing Dendi's escape. And unfortunately for the Dire, no Sunstrikes for them to launch down at a wayward Invoker. EWJ, meanwhile, He's up on the high ground, but not quite able to find anyone for that hook. In fact, this is not really the position you want to be if you're looking for a blind hook there. In reality, it's usually more on the other side. Report me, I'm noob. Walks past an invis room. They're going to give it to Thanowit, maybe? No. Report me, I'm noob will end up grabbing it. Crystal Maiden now disconnects. A lot of odd disconnections here. EWJ, though, won't spot out Report Me I'm Noob. Instead, we'll figure this out too late now. They push him back. The hook comes out, but because of the cogs, he doesn't have enough mana to cast the Dismember. Doesn't even matter, though, as the hook would have canceled it anyway. Goes to the deny, will not get it off. Meanwhile, Ponteras, he needs a Stormhammer, but doesn't have the mana for it. He went for a Urn of Shadows, which I guess is some decent mana regeneration, but he gets the Urn, doesn't even throw it. Guess not knowing that it does damage. Who knows? Regardless, it looks like Radiant grabbing, getting away with a couple really good kills here. Ping's rapidly coming down, though. Looks like they want Liquor and Kasamis. Report me, I'm noob. We'll go in, gets a double block with the cogs. Powers down 2 or 3 of them. But now in comes Xenoman, burning all of his mana, trying to chase into this with a pulse over. The hook comes in. Report me, I'm noob. Will end up going down. They can't cancel. They've got nothing to cancel it. Xenoman letting all of his mana drain from that ultimate. Meanwhile, Dendi will throw down the meatball. Pantera's taking some pretty decent damage over time. The Sunstrike won't connect, though, but one wayward auto attack will cancel the Urn. Dendi's still chasing. He's got the 1 point in Wex, helping him out with his move speed, but in the end, Sven will get himself away. 10-5 at 10 minutes. I can almost imagine Radiant pulling away with a little bit of an advantage here. Oh yeah, definitely with a gold advantage. Probably about 5,000 or so. Yeah, 5,000, just about gold advantage. Net worth, experience 2,500. And the Dyers, or in the Radiant's favor. Ponteras now chasing with EWJ. Maybe they can find the Invoker, but he's far enough away. The hook won't be coming through anytime soon. Meanwhile, Pantera still hunting. He'll find Jakiro, moves around, sets up the hook, but will step in front of it at the last second. In comes Liquor, throws out the Swarm. Doesn't connect on Danawit, but it does connect on everyone else. They're all in the Macro Pyre, though, taking a lot of damage. The Sunstrike comes out. Lightning Strike, though, or the Chain Lightning, brings down one. Now Zephyr Strikes, looks for Ponteras. They've got the Cold Snap onto him. He'll throw out the Stormhammer. They got the Double Edge, and they'll bring him down. Zekrom without any mana. He's got the Magic Wand. He's got the Arcanes and the, the bottle, but he'll get brought down. And a 3-death on the Radiant. Dire only losing 1. And that's their Weaver, who by and large, I don't think feels like they've been has been doing anything, so Dire quite happy to take that fight. And that'll set him back, that'll set Radiant back quite a bit. I mean, Dire I don't think they close in on the advantage just yet. They still have a little bit of a ways to go, but after a fight like that, they garner a pretty good amount of gold and experience on each of their individual heroes. Maybe they can start working towards those next couple of items.
Radiant's mid tower's coming apart.
Navi Dendu, though,
Dire's top tower's
looks like
getting
he's
beat
going to try to find an Urn of Shadows, going for the solo pick-off Exhort build. A lot of damage to be had from that.
The Dire might want to
Xenoman?
mine their top tower.
Veil of Discord, potentially, with the Helm of the Iron Will and the Null Talisman. Zeus, still with just the Arcane Boots. Thanowit with Phase Boots. Liquor, he's got the Aquila, so he should be able to farm pretty quickly if you were to go into the jungle. Ressa, solid heat. He's got the Tranquil Boots and a Magic Stick. EWJ with the Urn of Shadows. Just kind of sitting on that, but Sven still at just the power treads in the Urn of Shadows. At about 500 gold to his name, he's not going to be able to really farm aggressively and quickly anytime soon. Doesn't even have any points into Warcry, so the extra armor not going to happen. But the hook comes out on to Report Me I'm Noob. They trap him under tower. They'll bring him down. Sunstrike gets some counter damage out, as well as the Thunder God's Wrath. But Pudge gets a regeneration rune. And all of that damage that they just did to him turns out to be nerds. As Kisimus into the jungle, trying to farm up that Blink Dagger. Meanwhile, Liquor and Ressa down bottom. They get the Frostbite on the Genoman, but the tower isn't aggro. The Swarm comes out, will connect on the Genoman, takes a little bit of damage from it. In fact, takes a lot of damage from it. They need to back themselves far enough away before they start attacking it, though. Now they will. Xenoman taking quite a bit from that. They don't really have any way to stop this up either, so. Casima's getting low in the mid lane. Pudge trying to find another hook onto the Zeus. Or onto the Clockwork, rather. Xenoman getting bottled up by his ally there. And maybe they look to make another initiation and down towards the bottom tier 1 tower on the Dire side. They think they can bring down Liquor again. They've got plenty of sentry wards, boosting their confidence down here, but they got to get the initiation and go for the split earth, but it won't connect instead. Xenoman in a lot of trouble, but Liquor gets blown to shreds. Throws out the Swarm, but can't do much with it. Meanwhile, looks like a hook, report me on noob, will go down the top lane to the Pudge. Ends up being a 1-for-1 across the map. Meanwhile, in comes Ressa. Ice Path comes out. They've got the Liquid Fire to the tower. The hook pulls Xanowit under the tower, though. Can't dismember, though. He's out of mana. Non-cooldown as well. Xenoman. One more right click, he would go down, but Xanowit goes down. Somewhere, somehow, over the rainbow. Jakiro falls, and Dendi waiting in the wings. They don't have vision of him. And EWJ might walk dead into him, but comes a Stampede. They want to try to find onto Zekrom strikes. Looking for that hook. 3 seconds. Can he find the line? Will throw it out by the tree line and gets the hook. Zekrom gets taken down. EWJ happy to chop him up into little bite-sized pieces. Maybe serve him with a side of some cheese, a couple grapes.
Trouble brewing at Radiant's bottom tower.
Hey, it's a party platter, right? A fine charcuterie. So Pudge will get his Blink Dagger. In the meantime, Dendi's still kind of hanging out in the wings there. All the while, not farming, not really doing too much with his time. He'll join in the bottom lane with Xenoman. Try to bring down Liquor, but they've got the Sentry Ward. The Split Earth way off the mark. Liquor now, they've got the Meatball. All that damage coming out from the impact, as well as the damage over time. Enough to bring Pookie Liquor down, and I have no idea what I just called him right there, but it definitely wasn't even close to his name. Oh no, I kind of get why what I fucked up there. Whatever. Diebox Edict by the tier 1 tower. Finally will bring this down. Second tier 1 of the game for the Dire, and second tier 1 of the game overall. Going down. EWJ will grab a mega kill spree as Thanaway gets taken down close by. A Stormhammer was committed onto him as well, just to deal some extra damage. Meanwhile, report me on noob. Pushing out pretty far ahead up top. Will end up turning tail and running out as he realizes his positioning. Yeah, almost. So, Dendi looks like he's being stalked by EWJ. Ponteris, though, coming in close. Looks like they won't be able to find him. Instead, they throw the hook out and report me on noob. They've got a Blink Dagger, though, 7 seconds. And it looks like the Clockwork will get himself out of there. Meanwhile, Eul Scepter completed onto Invoker. So Dendi going to have that ability to drop the full combo on whoever. He's got Sunstrike, he's got Meteor. All he needs now is a Deafening Blast, and he'll be absolutely golden for that. Though he's got Deafening Blast, so. And that's, I imagine that's the point of going to 1-1-4 build here. He doesn't really care about the other spells. Everything else is just a little bit of extra lockdown. He's going full in for having every spell do the max amount of damage possible. And, well, Exhort pretty much gives you that. Although there are certain little intricacies with the other spells that end up giving them more damage than leveling up play in Exhort. It still has its place, especially with the Eul Scepter combo. The Sunstrike directly as a result of Exhort damage. Same thing with Meatball. Though Wex is different distance traveled. Sometimes you don't even need it to go that far. So EWJ, he's waiting for his hook, looking for the line. In comes Ponteris, though. God Strength immediately. The hook will be just south, though. Ponteris goes down. A deafening blast will fly through, as well as the meatball, doing some decent burn damage. The macro pyre on the ground, not really connecting onto anyone. Here comes Casimas, gets a 3-man stomp, but has to get himself. He really wanted to commit onto that one. The hook back will bring down Zekrom Strikes, but I'm not sure you can find a killer here. Instead, they turn around. They cogs in the Pudge, and Kisamis will also go down, being pushed back by the cogs, trapped in the ice path. And comes the Sunstrike, and Ressa Salahid will also go down. The Radiant pulling a 4-for-1.
Bottom tower ain't a pretty sight right now.
All of them getting pretty low, but none actually going down. Vanuit, the closest of all of them, but
Radiant's bottom towers seen better days.
close does not net the kill.
Mid-tower's having technical difficulties.
Do or do not, there is no try, I guess, could also work in this scenario. I'm getting tired of close but no cigar. I've been using that one way too often. Ponteris could throw out the Stormhammer, but opts not to do it. He had that Blink Dagger. Instead, going to turn around and find Dendi and Zekrom Strikes, or they'll find him. Deafening Blast, but turns around, throws out the Stormhammer, maybe tries to find Dendi, but can't quite catch up. Has nothing in his Urn of Shadows, too, so it looks like he'll be brought down. Both of them getting low, but, oh my god. Can't even think of another saying. Let's just act like I came up with something euphoric there.
Top towers hurt.
Blew your mind. So, as it stands right now, the Dire, they came off of a pretty good fight. Pretty bad fight, rather. It was a Raid that came off a good fight. The hook in, though, will bring Xenomon back. It looks like he'll be able to grab this kill quite easily. Casimas comes in for it as well, just to secure it.
Radiant's mid tower could use a hand.
EWJ, though, just being in proximity gets the Flesh Heap stack, so it doesn't really matter who gets the kill. He's going to throw out the hook. The Report Me Noob will dodge it out, whether by intention or not. Flicker, meanwhile, 1,000 gold to his name, but that's pretty much the 1,000 since he's last had. Maybe trying to find the lethal lapse here. Time lapse, but get caught in the Sunstrike. The Cog securing that one up. Meanwhile, the hook back, Zekrom Strikes will go down. All 4 in the ice path, all 3 in the ice path. The Macro Pyre will fly, dealing some pretty significant damage, but not enough. They're all behind, and the hook gets blocked out by Ressa Salahid. Meanwhile, it's a chase onto Ponteris, and to the Split Earth. They'll bring him down. Meanwhile, Dendi looking for Casimas. Will find him, but does he have enough damage? Sunstrike should be up in 15 seconds. The Dual Breath, not going to deal any damage. Does get the slow off of it, and the slow won't be enough to bring him down.
Towers taking hits.
Still, the pings come out. When is our Sunstrike up? 3 seconds. I don't even need it. Thunder God Wrath will bring down the Centaur War Runner.
Zeus be with you.
And so, Radiant take another pretty decent fight there. Meanwhile, Pudge making a little trouble. Ice Path comes through. Doesn't connect. They get the Liquid Fire. Not slowing up his MS, but in comes the Sunstrike. Cogs them in as well. And they'll bring him down. Pudge in a lot of trouble.
Dire's top tower, you know the drill.
So, Clockwork will grab himself a DD rune. That's going to help a lot in the next fight, or is it? He's got a hook, 150 mana. Bottling up as much as possible so he's got enough to follow up off of it. Oh, Liquor might get in a little bit of trouble. He's got a time lapse. Going to go ahead and scooch you on out of there. Meanwhile, while that's going on, Centaur War Runner will get a pick off onto Zonomon, who is trying to solo take down this tower and realizing just a little bit too quickly that he's a Leshrac. That's not exactly what he can do. And so, 21 minutes in, 24-17. As this is a replay, I have no idea where this game's going to go, though the Radiant pulling up a pretty decent golden experience advantage.
Guess what's happening to Dire's bottom tower?
The advantage is, at this point, not 22 minutes in, anything less than about 7,500 or 1,000 does not mean all that much. And both of them, well underneath about a 10,000. Are well underneath the 7,500 mark. So, Dire will group themselves up through the mid lane. Maybe look to try to fight here. The blink on the Centaur, going for that Hood of Defiance. Pudge, meanwhile, still has that blink. Not much else, but 1,300 gold is definitely going to help out. Weaver finally getting his power treads, but slow in every other guard. Ressa Salahid could be in a little bit of trouble. Report me noob. We'll go ahead, hook him up on the high ground. Sunstrike as well. Ponteras will get back away from the cogs. Ressa's still alive. Will finally get brought down. Meanwhile, report me on noob. We'll get a kill off on EWJ. In comes the Liquor there, trying to get a return kill, and will successfully do so. 1,000 gold to the Weaver because of that. Xenoman could drop here, but not without bringing one down with him. Dendi also on the run, but Ponteras is so damn slow. No more mana. He puts himself up with a Ghost Scepter, but it is not enough. Or the Urn of Shadows, rather, as it does get immediately canceled. And Liquor, with that 1,000 gold that he just accumulated, is able to get himself back. Do they have a Sunstrike, though? If they can guess it correctly, they may be able to bring him down. Liquor on the run. Do they even try for it? Does he even know it? Looks like not. So Weaver will get himself away. Meanwhile, Ressa Salahid with an Ogre Club. Very interesting item. Maybe either BKB or Aghanim Scepter.
Dire's mid tower could use a little help.
Whichever is the case, a hook comes out. Will not connect, though it seemed very close. So, looks like things will start to slow down. 24 minutes into this game. The Radiant seem to be in a bit more capability of taking strong team fights, but in sort of a one-by-one situation, I'm pretty confident that Dire can start to take really, can start to win them. Now, the problem is this Sven doesn't quite have what he needs to start really laying out the damage. I mean, he's got God Strength, but even with just the Blink Dagger, the God Strength will be hitting for one attack every 2 seconds, especially with the Liquid Fire down onto him, slowing down his attack speed by a significant margin. You can already see that's a 50 attack speed slow. And he's only got 171, so that gets really cut into every single time it hits him. EWJ was lining up those hooks, but in comes a hook of Report Me on Noob. EWJ hitting himself with the Blade Mail, knocks back away, and Sunstrike comes through, but it will miss. Still goes down the long run. Jakiro will also will grab that kill now. Kasimis gets brought down. The Thunder God's Wrath going through and doing a whole lot of damage. Liquor gets himself away, which is surprising considering his record so far in this game. But though he's away, the tower will get brought down. Radiant could even push for more.
Hope the Dire weren't partial to that mid tower.
The double observer and sentry. The classic mind beams being put down by that. Whatever support is lucky enough to drop a sentry ward on that. There's going to be a Yule Scepter up. Ressa Salahid gets completely annihilated. And the tier 3 taking a lot of damage now. They don't have any way. No, there's a Diabolic Edict. Never mind, they've got enough mana for it. And so the tower dropping pretty low. Dire, though, they're looking to try to turn this one around. They go in for the stomp on a Kasimis, but he isn't able to find it. So the tower, tier 3, will drop. And Radiant might just want to back themselves off here. Dire is all respawning, ready to fight. So Radiant will do just that. They'll back off. They still have 2 tier 2 towers up that they can bring down. There's a Roshan right for the picking. They're going to lose their tier 1 tower to creeps, which is rather unfortunate, but
the Radiant lost the top
it's
tower.
almost bound to happen eventually. So 32 to 19 at 26 minutes. Our advantage getting a little bit worse for the Dire as Radiant picking up a 10,000 gold advantage, 10,000 experience advantage. And it looks like they're playing this one very smart too. Not giving away anything that they don't need to give up, though. I could be wrong, as Report Me on Noob might be in a little bit of trouble here, but Kasimis goes forward, goes for the hoof stomp, and is very short on it. Overestimating that blink pretty heavily. The only thing I could see really turning this game around is if Sven gets a BKB Crystallis out of nowhere, because that I could imagine them maybe getting a, 5-man wipe or some crazy miracle. Looks like a Stampede on the bottom, though. He's Xenomon. We'll go ahead, bring down Kasimis. Liquor, though, on the chase. If he can grab this kill, this would be huge. He's looking for it. He'll go in with a Scoochie. He's one more right click to follow up, and he'll get it off. EWJ comes in for it as well. 700 gold for the Weaver. And now EWJ gets stunned up by the Ice Path. Has a hook ready to go. but doesn't throw it out after the Ice Pass stuns him, doesn't feel like it's necessary. He goes ahead for that Aghanim Scepter, and that'll be all said and done about it. Dendi, meanwhile, with an Aghanim Scepter already completed, he's not looking that bad right now. If he can get a full combo off, maybe it would be enough damage, but Dendi's in a lot of trouble. They go in, throw the Stormhammer and the hook, and he's taking way too much damage. He'll just get brought down here. EWJ will bring him down, and in the meantime, finds his own Aghanim Scepter. The trifecta of 10 stat items going his way via the courier. Looks like not the Jade Hoof, the Red Hoof courier. That's what they call it. So, report me, I'm Noob. We'll go ahead. He'll hook in. Drops out with a blade mail, though. Takes a bit of damage from it. But he comes in with the initiation, is able to secure a kill onto Ponteris. Now chases in onto EWJ and finds another kill onto him. So that's a quick couple of kills going the way of the Radiant. Again, they lose their Invoker. But, in the end, they bring down 2 in the mid lane. They continue pushing out with this one. Neither one has buyback. Though they do have to be careful of the Weaver. If he's able to get a couple of pickoffs in this fight, could easily see this one starting to turn around. But he's got to have them set up, and Casinas will go in. Stampede with the hoof stomp, doing a lot of damage. Liquor goes in, but takes so much he'll get brought down immediately. Don't stand in the macro pyre, as quoted by many a pub. They'll bring down the racks, or at least the ranged racks. Melee soon to follow. As all the creeps spawning in the macro pyre. That's an Aghanim Scepter macro pyre too. It's extending all the way back here. So all the creeps get destroyed by it. Meanwhile, Dendi chasing on the rest of Salahid. Does he have a cold snap? Anything. He's got a deafening blast. He's way far into this one though. And he'll get brought down. Kind of an awkward dive for him.
Dire's bottom tower got blown to bits.
And so with one set of racks down, Dire seem to be falling further and further behind, but Ponteris getting very close to that BKB. Again, that'll help out a lot. Casimas, he's got the Veil of Discord. Maybe he can grab a pipe. They already have a pipe though, don't they? Who would have it? I'm pretty sure I've seen one. Am I thinking of the Dire team? I might be thinking of the Radiant team. I am. Clockwork, he's got a pipe of his own. So that's what I was thinking of. Report me, I'm Noob. Having one. Centaur trying to build one. EWJ revealing himself with a hook. Another hook flies through, but he'll miss. And, okay. Winks forward, casts Dismember, and brings down Illusion. A lot of hate for that little guy. Maybe unwarranted. I'm pretty sure illusions are innocent. I don't think they have any idea of what transpires from their original heroes, but regardless, report me, I'm Noob. Going through. Hook shot at the ready. He'll throw it out, he'll catch it, and Resasali Heat goes down. Sunstrike, but all the while not needed. Dire lose another. Meanwhile, Dismember out onto the Anawit. They'll bring him down. Ponteris running away, but it's going to be Zekramon Strike, who might be the one in trouble, or is he? Ponteris chasing down, but one Lav Bolt will bring him down. Now, with the Thunder God's Wrath, they scout all 3 out. The mid racks are already down though, so maybe they just go in, completely bring down this top tier 2 rack or top tier 2 tower and push a little bit further than that. Still, a lot can be said about the fact that Clockwork has the highest net worth in the game right now. Pudge soon to follow, but 15,000 net worth advantage, 12,000 experience advantage for the Radiant team. And they're not looking to slow down anytime soon. They've got lots of really good heroes. BKB and Veil of Discord out for the Lishrak, now working towards that Bloodstone. And Radiant, again, will push down the mid lane, though. They don't need to. Again, still a tier 2 tower top that they could easily take down. Pretty much free gold right for the picking. Meanwhile, Kisimas
lost one of them bottom towers.
could be in trouble here. Pings come out. I think they know he's there, but they're not going to go for it. Instead, a hook in, Dismember onto Xenoman, but he's got the BKB. Split Earth, but not really doing too much. Drops out the Veil of Discord, but now on the run. Kasimas in a lot of trouble. It's taking a lot of damage. Double Edge will come out, and finally, they'll bring down Xenomon.
Lost
611 gold for that, and it goes to Sven Ponteras. But EWJ will find another kill. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. Dendy will pop into Ghost Walk. Do they have any detection for him? It looks like not. Meanwhile, the Macro Pyre goes down, doing a good chunk of damage, but then away. Can't seem to find the kill just yet. EWJ, though, might go for it. No, he's got no HP. Maybe just throw out a couple of blind hooks if you're Dire. Liquor. We'll do a pretty decent sum of damage to Dendy under his Ghost Walk, but... in the end, it looks like a little bit of trading back and forth, but it's ultimately that the Radiant, or that gets an advantage off that one. They get their tier 2 top. EWJ, just throw out a hook. Just do it. You can do it. Blind hook. Looks like he's going to hold on to it for now. 830 mana, why not? But Dendy will get himself out of there. Kisimas searching around, but he's got no detection either, so Invoker should be just fine. Maybe overstaying his welcome just by a little bit. And what's this? A point booster for Sven. I don't want to think he's going for an Aghanim Scepter, but at the same time, the God Strength buff on his entire team, maybe not that bad. Especially considering as far as base damage goes, Pudge is hitting for about 160. Weaver, about 100. So they're going to go out, drop the combo on the rest of Salahid, but it doesn't go down to it. In fact, Dendy might go down to all of this by proxy. He throws out the Deafening Blast, but it's not quite enough to save his life. Meanwhile, report me on Noob will go into Ponteras, brings him down. Split Earth will secure that kill, but actually it's just report me on Noob who gets it. Split Earth might have actually come in a little late on that one. So the Radiant can go ahead and push up again. 50 seconds without a Sven. A BKB completed on Weaver, now picking up a Ring of Health, maybe going for a Lincoln Sphere after all of that. Kind of an interesting decision from him. The backdoor protection's down though. Radiant. Dire, they popped their glyph too. Very unfortunate for the Dire team. Now they don't have a glyph to protect against this top lane push. 10 seconds before our Invoker's back. He can't come in with Boots of Travel though, doesn't have enough gold. Can TP to tier 2 though, which is a lot better than just walking straight from Fountain. Which is what he's going to do anyway. Okay. Things come out though. They want this. A hook won't connect. Instead, they'll just make their way up onto the high ground. They've got the Diabolic Edict. No glyph to spend. Report me on Noob will get hooked back, but the blink away. Casimas comes on in. They've got a Frostbite. They've got a Stomp, but it's not quite enough to bring down the Clockwork. And now Crystal Maiden trying to unleash a Freezing Field. It was a BKB Freezing Field, but it's just not enough damage. Pipe of Insight keeping Report Me on Noob alive through the Stormhammer. Ponteras is trying to chase out. He's got the BKB. Report Me on Noob, go down to the cleave. He won't go down to the cleave, not yet. EWJ, though, will find a killing spree. Ponteras blinking ahead, now finally brings down Report Me on Noob. They'll grab Zekron Strike again, or this time, and Ponteras staying alive. Will chase down Dendy, as it looks like Liquor is trying to chase down Genoman. But they've got him up, and the Yule Scepter. He'll time-lapse himself out of there, but Ponteras is still alive, still kicking. Hook comes through, but just barely misses. Now Dendy turns into Ponteras, but taking a lot of damage himself. Xenoman grabs the kill, but at what cost? Dendy's going to go down here. No, he's still alive. He's still very much alive. Now EWJ could be in trouble here. And the Dismember goes, though, and that heals EWJ up. He's got the Urn of Shadows as well, so I don't think Dendy can bring him down. So, in the end, the Radiant go pretty all in for that top racks. They only bring down the tier 3 tower. And in the wake of that fight, don't give up too much advantage, but it's leveled off in the meantime. And I think that gives a little bit of a morale boost to the Dire that maybe they can defend out in the next time. Dendy, though, pushing up through the top. Doesn't quite have a lot of regen out for him. He'll try to find the Centaur Warrunner, though. Dual Scepter up, gets the combo out, only gets the Meatball. Now with the Sunstrike, now with a Deafening Blast. Not a whole lot of damage. Stout Hoof Stomp, in comes the Double Edge and the Stampede. And Kisimus will go ahead and bring down the Invoker. Oh boy. 45 to 32 is what it ends up being. Zekrom strikes. With a double damage now bottled, might be able to do a little bit more, but as it stands, the Dire have defended. I guess not your standard definition of defended, but have accomplished at least something. And I guess that something is holding their top racks for the longest time possible. Report me, I'm noob. Meanwhile, up top, there's going to be a swarm coming out, hoping to catch a wayward Clockwork, but maybe the Clockwork, the one that wants to catch him, throws out the flare, maybe looking for the hook. The pings come out. Maybe he wants it, maybe he doesn't. He's got the Mystic Staff, but he's going to go in. Liger cannot get out of this one. He has to hit Cogs. Instead, he turns around and starts hitting Clockwork, taking a bit of damage, has time left, but doesn't use it. And it looks like Clockwork will bring him down. And BKB used, not really netting anything. And so Radiant begin their push again. In comes the Stormhammer. Xenoman getting blown to shreds by the Pudge and Ponteris. The Courier will go down in the thick of it, though. 3,700 gold. We'll check that after. Report me, I'm noob. Taking a lot of damage, though. The hook comes through, even though he's got the pipe. That doesn't do shit versus Pure. And they'll bring him down a 3-for-1. And Radiant choking away. Advantage after that one. Take a look at the grabs, and yeah, you can start to see the downward slope. This is a skier's paradise. They look for that slope. They want to ride the wave or ride the hill or whatever. Something involving riding, doing stuff. The Courier, though, looks like it had a Bloodstone. That was Xenoman's Bloodstone, too. Or at least part of it. Does he have a point booster? No, he does not. Not sure what the Courier was doing. Where did he even die? What the hell was the Courier doing there?
Heist.
Well, alright. So, Courier goes down. Not much to say about that. Perseverance and a Claymore. Is that Pudge going for a Battle Fury? Please tell me he's going for a Battle Fury. That, I don't think I've ever seen that before. That would be an absolute first for me. But again, this Pudge is hitting pretty hard. 19 flesh heap stacks, which gives him extra, what, 50 damage or 50 strength? 48 strength. So I guess a cleave would be pretty good with that damage he's already got. Roshan will go down. And that's an Aegis for your Crystal Maiden. Ping, 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 ping. Oh, different team. Never mind. So Crystal Maiden grabbing that Aegis Immortality. Meanwhile, Pudge. I don't know what to say. Xenoman? What's that? Is that... I feel like that's something that I... Okay, there we go. I was waiting for that. Alright. You can definitely... that laugh. In any other context, that laugh would creep me out. I wonder how they record laughs like that too. Like, do they legitimately tell a joke to the voice actor that's like so funny they just like let out a laugh, or do they know how to force a laugh? Because that came off really, really creepy. Imagine like sleeping. All right, you're in your bed, just chilling out. Then all of a sudden you hear that. I'm pretty sure every single one of you would like be shitting bricks.
Radiant's mid tower.
I don't know. I think I would like freak out. Random musings of Ted while waiting for the fights to break out. Ponteris will start laying into this tier 2 tower. TP does come in, but it will go down, so can't quite get the TP off. Meanwhile, that leaves the report man noob isolated out. EWJ will begin to lay into him, goes through the dismember. They want to grab the hook stomp, but it gets canceled just barely. Now they go in with the stampede. He tries popping the dust, but the hook will bring him all the way back downtown. He'll try to hook out of there, but this clockwork, his time is up. And his tin can battle plan has reached its end. These orbs are kind of cool. Are those the default orbs? I feel like that's the result. Okay, that's definitely the result of the particle effect bug that I've been getting. Because there's no way he's got all three orbs invoked at once. Does look pretty cool though. Like, don't lie to me. That looks really cool. But when it's the Compendium Immortals, the TI5 Immortals doing it, it gets really laggy. It's almost hilarious. It's really cool. Anyway, they come down with the Sunstrike. They're going to throw out the Deafening Blast. Ponteras getting pushed back. He has to pop into his BKB. Starts to run away. Getting him down here would be absolutely amazing, but he blinks out. They've got no way to stop that blink, no way to get that last attack in. So he'll create space by making them run back. Meanwhile, Pudge with a Battle Fury now. Oh, man. He did go for it. All right. Now he's got to go for a Daedalus, and he'll be set. And this is how you carry as a Pudge. You have a steroid. You're like a Legion Commander, except you don't need duel to get damage. Every single kill you get damage. Give it enough time, and I mean, theoretically, you could have a Pudge one-shot you and Fountain while not dying once. I don't know, either way, it looks like a hood shot came in. It catches all of them out. They're all trapped. Macro Pyre does come out. Plenty of damage coming out the way. The meatball will fly. The Aegis gets popped. Liquor in a lot of trouble. Will time-lapse out, but he can't do anything with it. Now BKB, freezing field. He gets hooked on out of there, though, as he's taking way too much damage. The Thunder God's Wrath will fall on deaf ears as a BKB, keeping it from killing. Though, do we have a Sunstrike coming out soon? 17 seconds. A hook! Oh, that was brilliant from EWJ. Hooks out the Crystal Maiden right before the Clockwork is able to seal the deal. Incredible work from the Pudge there. From the Battle Fury Pudge. I don't think I've seen him cleave once, though. He hasn't really been attacking creeps. Made his way back to the Valen only to step up and realize, wait, I'm full HP. What am I doing all the way back here? Force of habit, maybe? Here we go. Pudge cleave. Destroying everything. That's... wow. Alright. Here comes a hook, though. Oh, no. All that effort to save Crystal Maiden's life that one time. All fall in the waste. Maybe is it though? Kasamis goes in. He's got the Blade Mail. A Blade Mail will return to the Blade Mail's all sorts of damage flying back and forth. They're hitting each other more than they're hitting themselves. It's a slap fight, except... okay, fine. Whatever. That's over. And comes Ponteras, but the Deafening Blast will send him back. He BKBs, but a little... oh, the crit! The crit and the cleave! Report me, I'm noob. Gets completely blown up. And Dendy cannot believe his eyes. Ponteras goes in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can he destroy this Zeus? It looks like he'll deny. Trapped in the Macro Pyre. He goes down to the Macro Pyre. Meanwhile, EWJ with the Dismember out onto Xenomon. He cleans him up. And that's a 5 for 2. Dire win the fight. Just barely. But a win is a win. The Sven, see, that's what I was talking about. BKB, Daedalus, and then maybe we'll start to see things get really, really out of hand. So the Aghanim Scepter, I think, is a little bit of a wasted purchase right now. If he is in range of EWJ, I think Pudge actually becomes a better Sven than Sven. Yeah, because God Strength gives 250, or 200% damage. And it gives 100%, so No, okay, Sven still does more damage. Fine. But the Pudge becomes a sort of Sven. Getting an extra 200 damage off it. He hits for 400. Sven will hit more for 510? Yeah, just about 510 damage. Alright, so math aside, and that's not including, neither of those are including the extra damage additive there, but again, that's math aside. 50 to 41, 48 minutes into this game. The Crafts almost at equilibrium. Both of them are equilibrium. Dire now starting to pull a little bit of advantage out of this game, but the Radiant don't seem like they're ready to give up just yet. Though the Bloodstones are starting to wear thin for the Radiant. 5 charges, 7 charges. A Refresher Sword finished by Dendy. Maybe he can turn this one around off the back of a really good double combo, but I don't think I've seen him, and this isn't to discount the player at all, I don't think I've seen him land a full-on Yule's combo quite yet. Though he has been getting very close. Ponteris will push in through the mid lane. Bringing him down first would be an absolute priority. Because if he is not down, he is the main damage dealer for the Dire team. Blinks up. Wants to try to find someone. Looks like he was just a second shy of finding Thanaway. He turns around, throws out the ice path. In comes a hook shot. Report me, I knew now. We'll go in with the blade mail. But it looks like EJW will save his life as a BKB gets popped by Ponteris. Won't have it up now for the fight. In comes the meatball. Doesn't actually connect onto anyone. Now Ponteris God Strength comes on in. Wants Thanaway. The tornado will bring him up though. In comes the Macro Pyre. Thanaway's still alive. In through the Macro Pyre. Ponteris taking so much damage. Trying to throw out a nice path, but Thanaway cannot get it off. Meanwhile, in comes the Sunstrike. It will connect. And now Radiant can leave their base and start trying to bring people down. The Dismember not going to go through. And the Casares will kill himself on the blade mail of Report Me I'm Noob. Meanwhile, the Radiant, they begin their push. Already, you see the Leshrac pushing in through the bottom lane. Is that an Aghanim? Leshrac bought an Ags? Okay, I guess it does increase your pulse Nova damage. I didn't actually know that. Not a lot of Leshracs actually go for that. Regardless, though, it looks like a buyback on the Sven, so we won't have it through the next fight. Pudge actually did commit... Okay, Pudge committed suicide in the end there, which I guess is better than nothing, but... 2 buybacks available. Okay, oh, no. Well, particle effect bug number 2. Doesn't even matter. Oh, it goes away. It went away. Oh, thank God. This is making me feel really good. Report Me I'm New, trying to go in for these bottom racks. Wants to bring it down, but the support from this team isn't quite there. They are going to get there in time to bring down Ponteris, so he's got God Strength, he's got BKB. They need to be very careful about this. If he can cleave them all down, he can get 3 kills easily. BKB, Zekrom Strike's in a lot of trouble. Does he have a Yule's Forces? If anything, he does not. And the stun in on Zekrom. Report Me I'm Noob. The tornado, though, comes up into the air. Dendy looking to bring down a kill. He's got the Refresher's combo, but he's screwing it up. He goes down. And I don't mean to say he's screwing it up. I know that was a little hostile, but... it did not come down the way he wanted it to. And so, still the top racks do go down. They lose only 2 for it. Meanwhile, the Aghanim's pretty much completed and on its way for Xenoman. As Roshan is back alive and kicking. Now Sven, his BKB's down to the 5-second duration, which means low cooldown. But on the flip side, low actual uptime. In fact, what's the uptime difference here? So the cooldown... oh wait, the cooldown's static now. Wow. I'm way behind the game here. So, only a 50-second, or only a 5-second uptime, 50-second downtime. That's really, really devastating for something like a BKB. So, Xenoman will get hooked on by Report Me on Nuke. In comes EWJ with a Dismember, doing a decent sum of damage, but the Freezing Field starts to come down. He's got the BKB, but it ends and pushes him back immediately, so the Freezing Field does not last all that long. Xeno Man trying to TP out with a stun. The TP will get canceled. 3 down, 2 down without buyback on the side of the Radiant. Though Invoker's back alive. Clockwork's down for 100 plus. And so Dire, they may be able to push off this one, but the fact that they've got 2 lanes constantly pushing in makes it very difficult. Instead, looks like maybe they want Roche. Liquor, gonna go after it. BKB and Lincoln Sphere. I'm not sure he could take it on his own, though. He's gonna do some damage, but Roshan's killing him faster than he's killing it, so he'll back himself away, and Dire will go back to defending. And Radiant are given another couple opportunities to make a close on this game. Now, again, buybacks are down for everyone on the Dire team, though they will be coming up soon, I imagine. Pudge only has to farm 300 gold. Weaver and Crystal Maiden only 600. 1,300 for the Centaur and 1,400 for the Sven. Speaking of, that means he bought something recently. Or does it? I think he's always had his data list, so maybe not, but the buyback could have screwed him up a little bit there. He's got to go back to farming, maybe pull some net worth back out of this game, because 200 CS at 50 minutes is a little far behind from where you really want to be, especially for a carry that has a lot of space on his side of the map to just farm up either through the jungle or push out this wave that is pretty much uncontested. But he'll grab a rune, make his way onto Roshan. Has no lifesteal, but he should be able to do a huge amount of damage. He's critting for 1,500. And so, the little bug will start picking away at his armor. You can see the armor slowly but surely going down, and each time, damage getting a little bit more and more great. Ponteris will pick up the Aegis, dropping his Urn of Shadows in the process, and just like that, the Dire were handed their card to go for it and try to end this game. One Sven is hard enough to deal with. If he holds on to his spells, lets them use everything onto him, and comes back with a BKB with God Strength, all that, he should be able to win them the game. So 40 seconds until that comes back up. No one with buyback in this game. As far as item goes, Zekrom Strikes is going for the Refresher's Orb. Clockwork pretty much has his full kit. I mean, the Shiva's Guard, the Pipe of Insight. Jakiro, though, with an Octarine Core and an Aghanim Scepter. Very interesting, though. He's going to get a lot of HP per second back if he can land that Macro Pyre in the middle of the fight. But the problem with Macro Pyre, maybe if Macro Pyre was sticky, it'd be a much better spell. But for right now, the issue that it has is that unless you get it in the perfect choke, and I'm talking like a choke that they have to either run back or forth, and if he's got an Aghanims, they can't, like, if they're right here, right? If they're standing right here, and you form an impeccable wall right here, and they have to run away, you Macro Pyre down this way, and they have to run through it. And that being a long Macro Pyre, they run through it for the entire duration. That's when the Macro Pyre is really, really good. But there is 1 in a million situations that can happen. And the amount of situations that involve a choke like that are more like 10 to 20 in a million. So really, it falls to a situation that ultimately just doesn't happen that often. I still love the spell. It's a great spell. If you can drop the Macro Pyre and Ice Path people in it, and then lock them in with like RPs or vacuums or things like that, it is a huge spell for any Wombo combo's wet dream. But aside from that, can it really do what it needs to do versus in these long, drawn-out, spread-out fights that have been happening? Maybe not. Though defending a base with the Macro Pyre is a lot easier, I will say. So, Dire continuing to push out as best as they can. Ponteris could be in a little bit of trouble here. Now, this is a 5-second BKB. So Report Me on New, all he has to do is wait and then go back in very shortly. He popped his Blade Mail, though, which it's up in 5 seconds again. So he could even go in right now, and it would be really, really good. Pop the Blade Mail, and Sven would most likely kill himself. They should know, though, that the BKB's down. This is the perfect time to fight. 2 Svens are easy to bring down if there are no BKBs available. And it looks like now they'll go in. They hook in. No, it's not on their own fault. Danawit caught in with the hook. Will back himself away. Drops down the macro pyre. And Ponteris is standing in it, but getting plenty from these crits. Will grab a triple kill off the back of that. Now turns around for his ultra, but he's in the macro pyre. He's going to be brought down. Aegis will be popped. Liquor also in the macro pyre. They hook out Report Me on Noob, though. And now it looks like they might kill themselves in the blade mail. They will. Ponteris not getting his ultra kill, but everyone on the Radiant team getting knocked out. Meanwhile, oh no, that's unfortunate, but looks like Xenomon was out of that fight due to a disconnection. Didn't even see him disconnect there. How long has he been disconnected for? Guess it was before that fight, because he wasn't in that fight. Whatever the case. Alright, so he's been for at least a minute now. It looks very much like things could be a big issue for the Radiant team, as Ponteris has moved up onto the high ground. They have a glyph, and they're going to spend it. Ponteris has got a heart to Resk, which, I mean, is no match for the sheer amount of damage that the Radiant can output. And because of the fact that it's just a Sven, it seems like he'll back himself off. Meanwhile, Kasima's pushing into the bottom lane, maybe trying to bring down a tier 2, but has to back off as well, being alone in a similar situation. And that's it. A pseudo-1 fight by the Dire, but they are unable to push completely off of it. So, Liquor will move down on his own. He's got a Javelin. Perhaps an MKB? Just a wild guess. Well, not a wild guess, but EWJ, meanwhile, after his items, you know, 3,000 HP, nearing in 4,000 without picking up any real strength items except for the stats from the Aghanim Scepter. That's kind of what you want out of your Pudge, especially from 59-minute game. Might even be too little. What I miss in terms of sweet, sweet. Whew. This is a little salty. Just a bit. I think the Dire, though, really want to win this one. Ressa Salahid, waiting in, almost has an Aghanim Scepter. And that Aghanim Scepter freezing field will be really, really good in many of these fights. Almost imperative for her to grab it. All the outer towers getting pinged. Almost beautiful how that looked like. Radiant, they do not want to lose anything right now. The Dire, though, I mean, it seems like they've got a little bit of advantage here. I mean, okay, a little bit. An experience advantage of about 10,000 gold. Still around the equilibrium point. But they don't have much wiggle room to work with. I mean, their last Rax is exposed. It's one of the hardest Rax to bring down for the Radiant team, though. Though top lane, I guess, is the hardest Rax. Bottom lane, second hardest. Mid lane is the easiest. Regardless, Dire will be getting their push down the bottom lane, but they realize that Xenomon is pushing in towards the bottom, and they can't do this if the bottom lane is what's being pushed in. They almost have to push out the bottom, but if they do the bottom, then the top and the middle push in because of the lanes that they're missing racks in. So it really becomes an awful situation for the Dire here. Pushing becoming quite a huge chore. So Ponteris making his way in. The boots that travel up to the top. Akasimas maybe wanting to find Xenomon. I think Xenomon can solo him, but it's got to be difficult. Ponteris will cut the creep wave. Maybe looking to do some initial damage. But what's this? Report me, I'm noob. We'll find Casimas. There's a blade mail. He's in a little bit of trouble. They both have blade mail. A lot of bullshit going both ways here. But in the end, they just kind of like turn and walk away. They had their man fight, and they had their little slapping fest. Vanawit gonna get completely blown apart by Ponteris, who will then chase on a Zekrom Strikes. He's got another Blink Dagger. Does he have the Storm Hammer? It looks like not, and the Suicide will come out from Zekrom Strikes, puts him into the fountain for about 57 seconds. But in comes, through the bottom lane, it's going to be Xeno Strikes, or Xenomon, rather. And report me, I'm noob. But in the opposite lane, it's Ponteris, Casimas, and EWJ. Liquor there as well. They bring down the creep wave. Maybe they go try for the race here, but they just leave Ponteris. No, they all TP up. They aren't going to let this Rex get YOLO down. In comes EWJ. He goes through the Dismember. Cancels it almost immediately as they've got the Battery Assault. But Ponteris unleashing a BKB from Xenomon. He's got the Pulse Nova doing plenty of damage with an Aghanim Scepter. But Ponteris is shrugging it off for the most part. In comes a Diabolic Edict. They're surrounding him. He can't get away. Split Earth, but it's not going to be enough. The Dire bring down 4. And they can finish up pushing and then go help their Weaver in the bottom lane, or in the top lane rather, who's then still trying to solo up on a Dendi, doing some significant damage. Ice Wall goes down. And Liquor will just continue to keep this wave pushed just a little bit, though he might see some pressure in a sec.
Looks like we
A disconnect from Xenomon. Might see a pause soon, but he's down for 40 seconds without buyback. It doesn't entirely matter. So, Dire will push themselves in. They really, really want to win this game. And it almost, you know, it almost seems like if they want it, they've got it. Ponteris will go in, drops down the Stormhammer now, wants to bring down Vanawit. They've got the Deafening Blast to stop him from attacking for a short bit. They've also got the Ice Path to keep him on the low ground, keep him at bay. God Strength has been used. Its uptime is cut in half right now, so it won't be up when they decide to push in. Sway to the mid lane, though. Which lane are they planning on pushing right now? Invoker will pause, but there we go. We're back in. WJ pushing in through the bottom, the top. Slow sieging on all of them. The bottom lane, actually, Ponteris sieging out that one. EWJ, they've got the Splitter, they've got the Diabolic Edict. Fail a Discord out to him. Now it's BKB on a Xenomon, so a Hoof Stomp won't do jack. Neither will the neither will the Blade Mail, but Ponteris and Ressa Salahid down through the bottom lane. In the middle, it's going to be Report Me Noob. But still, I'll bring this one very slowly. A Macropyre comes out. Casimas goes in, gets a double hoof stomp. Or actually, now gets a hoof stomp. The hook out will pull out Casimas, though. The rest of the Radiant grouped up. And comes the Pipe of Insight. While the Ponteris just lays into this tower down bottom. He pops the God Strength. It's just space created. They want him to bring down the Rack. They can't leave him alive alone. If they all go down, this could be trouble for the Dire. The tower will go. Ponteris, he goes into the fight. BKB's almost down, but he's not willing to let it go. And comes Ressa Salahid. Has the Freezing Field, but it's canceled by the hook. Now a Deafening Blast pushes her back. Ponteris trying to chase, but getting pushed back by every single cog. And so, 1 for 1, immediately speaking. Ponteris is in. He's trying to bring down Dendi. Hookshot comes out, locks Ponteris into place. Blade Mail will get popped, and Ponteris may just kill himself. He's got the heart, but it's burning through him so fast. Stormhammer, but the Ice Path will lock him down. 120 seconds, does have buyback. Buybacks immediately. And Radiant, they hold. They hold. All their racks are standing. Everyone pushing down to the mid lane, but all the Dire are buying back. Vanawit will solo hold out on the bottom lane for now. Report me, I'm noob. With Ponteris back, He's got to try to lock him down somehow. He's got the Shiva's Guard to keep Ponteris from chasing, and it will work. Ponteris going down, but in comes Dendy. If they can turn it around, Dendy's actually going to stand right into him. Deafening Blast comes out, but EWJ gets to Dismember. Pushed back by the Cogs. Yule Scepter up. Can Dendy get out of there? Can he get into Ghost Walk? He will. Do they have detection? Does not look like it. The Radiant backing up, waiting for God Strength, and setting up once again. Meanwhile, the Tier 4 taking some good damage. Liquor trying to get rid of these siege creeps, but he can't bring them down with the Scoochie. So the Radiant positioning themselves for one final fight. If they can win, oh god, 70 seconds without buyback. I don't think a pause would make a difference here. If they can defend this one time, maybe they can end. Maybe the Radiant can win. The Dire, everything rides on this. They cannot die. It's 140 seconds or so if Ponteris dies again. He bought back with a 120-second death timer. He'll go in, leads off with a Stormhammer on to report me I'm noob. The hook flies out, but it will miss. In comes Ponteris. He's in alone with no BKB. He's got to get out of here. Vanowit, the Tornado will land him up. Saves Vanowit's life. They got the EMP. Ponteris has no mana. Pushed back from the EMP. Trapped within the Macropyre. Has to run away. Has to stay alive. The Stampede will secure just that. But the Radiant, once again, they hold. And EWJ, 113 seconds without a pudge. The Radiant once again sending Dire with their tails between their legs after a long game of the Dire scraping this one back. The Radiant just won't let them have their sweet moment of victory. Instead, pulling it right back in the same way. Every mountain has a valley, but between mountains, Radiant are waiting on theirs again now, and it looks like it could be coming up.
Boom, there it goes.
Ponteris will come up behind Dendy. The hook shot in though, pushes back with Cogs. BKB, God Strength pop. Report me I'm noob, taking some damage but not quite enough. In comes Casimes, but blinks in to the Cogs. Ponteris is trapped again in the Macropyre. He can't turn and fight. The hook will lock him in, taking so much damage, he'll go down. 130 seconds. Report me I'm noob, taking a little bit of damage, but he's able to get away. Liquor also so damn low. Dual breath out. Tornado locks him in the air when he comes down. He comes down hard enough to crush that little exoskeleton of his, and the Dire are all dead. No buyback. Every little bit that they worked to scrape in this game, gone in an instant. 70 minutes, and the Dire will finally lose their ancient Radiant. They have to be happy about that one. And I'm happy for them. Guys, great game for both teams. Thanks for watching on stream. If you're watching this on the VOD, I hope you enjoyed the show just about as much as I enjoyed casting it. And we'll be back again soon with more episodes. For now, I will catch you all later.